For several days, rival youth groups in Talo, Makassar have clashed with bows, firecrackers, and Molotov cocktails, leaving people injured and property torched. Police say there may be intellectual actors and even drug syndicates financing the chaos, while joint forces now guard at hotspots around Tinombu, Kandea, Lembo, and Layang to deter fresh violence. At University Sriwijaya in Palembang, an orientation activity on September 20, where freshmen were instructed to kiss classmates' foreheads, has sparked backlash and disciplinary action. The Student Faculty Association, IMATEPA, has been suspended for 1 month, and the university has formed an investigation team. Student organizers claimed the idea came from alumni and was spontaneous, a point now under formal scrutiny. After a string of robberies on roads leading to Kuala Namu International Airport, including a September 10 attack on a 49-year-old immigration staffer, provincial legislators have urged intensified patrols and better lighting on access routes. Police say investigations are underway as residents report vandalized infrastructure beneath in the flyover. Good evening, I'm Cindy Claudia Nadia. You just heard the top headlines. Now let's dive deeper. Stay with us here on What's Up Today, where we bring you the stories shaping Indonesia and the world. We begin in Makassar, where neighborhood tensions have spilled into days of street fighting and fear. Officials on the ground say the violence is not random. There are signs of planning, money, and specific signals behind it.
A series of violence clashes rocked several neighborhoods in the Talo district of Makassar since the weekend of September 20, 2025. Authorities now suspect the turmoil, concentrated in the area like the Tinibu, Kandea, Lembo, and Layang, is not random but being deliberately orchestrated by the organized instigator. The resulting brawls has involved a group of mostly young men engaging in dangerous street battles, exchanging projectiles such as arrow and powerful firecrackers. The violence has resulted in significant damage, with at least one car and a motorcycle being burned, and one house set ablaze. Police has reported that at least 4 people has been treated for injuries caused by arrows. Speaking to the press on Tuesday, September 23rd, Makassar Police Chief Kambais Arya Perdana announced a formal investigation into what he termed intellectual actors believed to be financing and fueling the conflict. He noted that the expensive fire techniques and weapons being used suggest organized finding search. Consequently, he has ordered intellectual and Orthodox units to map the finance network behind the violence and track the origins of the weapons, including air rifles used in the fight. A primary theory has been explored is that narcotics syndicate might be injuring the coast to provide cover for their illegal operation. The suspicion is supported by observations from the local authorities in the Talo. They report a particular parents where the fighting groups, often amicable terms during the days, suddenly mobilize for conflict following coded cues. The signal often include repeat blasts of the high-priced firecrackers, suggesting a coordinate for instigate of conservations for the business purposes. As of Wednesday morning, September 24, joint police unit has been stationed at the critical point through the district. The parents further reporting and the maintaining order. City officials are actively working with the community leaders to these tensions. Authority has also uses a public appeals, urging parents to support their children and keep minors off the street at night, as many of those influenced is the bear are under 18. From Makassar, the media publication news team reporting for What's Up Today.
For anyone living in Makassar's Talo district, the last few days have been tense. We've seen repeated clashes between youth groups in neighborhoods like Tinombua and Kandea, resulting in torched vehicles, property damage, and people being injured by arrows. But police now suspect this isn't just random street violence. They believe it's being orchestrated. Their investigation is moving along two main tracks. First, they are hunting for what they call intellectual actors, the hidden organizer who might be supplying expensive fireworks and weapons, and even giving the signals for fights to begin. The second, more sinister theory they're testing is that all the chaos is being engineered as a distraction to provide cover for drug trafficking. While this is still an unproven theory, it's being taken very seriously by the city's intelligence and narcotics units. So for residents, the official advice is to be vigilant. Stay away from known hotspots, especially after dark, and follow any police diversions. Joint security posts have been set up in at-risk locations, and if you see any content online that seems to be inciting violence, please report it through official channels. The pattern in Makassar: organized signals, sudden flare-ups, and the involvement of vulnerable minors demands clear community vigilance and steady policing. We will keep tracking any arrests and proof of financiers behind the scenes. Stay with us. Next, a Jakarta dining dispute that went viral and reveals awkward question about responsibility and restitution. From street order to the table manners, the question here is not only who pays, but how we fix things after they go wrong. A Kemang eatery posted a claim that two patrons left without paying for multiple dishes. The names are now out in the open. Before we draw conclusions, here is what each side says and what is still unclear.
A social media complaint from the cafe in the Kemang, South Jakarta, accusing two patrons, including a prominent guitarist and his psychology partner, of living without paying has evolved into widely discussed public issues, particularly after the cafe owner report refused to accept a late payment for the bill. The controversy began in the mid-September when the cafe public alleged the couple had left without stealing their bill for 15 items. The post, which include image of the receipt and the CCTV footage, quickly went viral. This led the repeat identifications of the pair by entertainment media and sparked a wave of online commentary, including Attack the Toxic. The couple has not yet issued a detailed public statement regarding the incident. In a subsequent development, reports indicate that the couple returns to the establishment to pay the outstanding amount. However, the owner declined to accept the money. He reportedly argued that after the story has spread online, the reputational harms his business suffers and the moral principle of the situation were more significant than the financial settlement. At this time, it is important to distinguish between the verified facts and the ongoing allegation. It is confirmed that the allegations origins from the cafe's social media post and the owner late expressed his refusal to accept the late payment. What remains of confusion is whether any official police report has been filed, the couple full explanations for the event, or if any formal settlement has been reached. Until an official process provides clarity, the incident remains an allegation, and the public is advised to refrain from the rounding premature conclusions based on the social media narrative. From Jakarta, the Media Publikasi News team reporting for What's Up Today.
This is the anatomy of a viral accusation. A business posts a claim, that narrative spreads, names circulate rapidly, and then both sides risk reputational damage before the facts are fully tested. In the eyes of the law, an unpaid bill can be a civil matter or a debt, or a criminal one or a fraud. The line turns on intent, not social media anger. Without a police report or a mediated settlement, online pressure can inflict punishment that goes far beyond the price of a meal. For viewers, this is a reminder of a few best practices. If you are a business, save your evidence, try to speak with the other party privately first, and then escalate to authorities if needed. And if you are the subject of a viral claim, document your response through a variable channel, not just in a comment section. Courtesy costs little, and the willingness to make amends still matters. We will provide an update if an official complaint is filed or a public statement is issued. After the break, we move to Central Java, where a contested faith tourism project has been paused by the region amid rising community objections. Don't go anywhere. Right after the break, we'll be back with more updates. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. You are watching What's Up today. If you missed the start, you can always catch the full program on Film Medan's YouTube channel. Let's continue with the news. We close tonight with a dispute over process and place. In Karangturi Karanganyar, a faith-themed tourism project has been vocal opposition and competing claims about permits and public consultation. Authorities have now hit pause as we outline the decision and what happens next. Remember how today's first story also hinged on one thing: who really pulls the strings when tension rise.
The Karanganyar Regency government has officially paused the constructions of the purposed Holy Land or Bukit Dewa prayer here, stayed in the village of the Karangturi, Gondang Rejo. The decisions come after escalating public protests and petitions from the local community group who has raised concern about the process permitting process and the adequate of community engagement. In early September, Karanganyar Region's Robert Kristan, docent degree cities in local report as SK Bupati Karanganyar, number 500.16.7/505/2025, ordering a temporary halt to all construction activity. The official pause is intended to allow the Regency times to conduct a thorough review of the project legal standing and address the issues brought forward by residents. The government's actions follow a series of demonstrations and viral online appeals against the project. Local groups questioned whether the consultation process met established norms and whether all necessary land use approval were fully secure. Some civic leaders also publicly urged the Regency to ensure that the village officials remain neutral during facilitations meeting to guarantee a fair dialogue. Official has clarified that the halt is not a final cancellation but rather a cooling off period, designed to vary legal complexions and reduce social friction. The features of the Holy Land sites will be determined by the outcome of the review, which could lead to either of the restrictions of constructions, possibility with the new conditions, or the former perfections of the project permit. Throughout this period, the Regency messaging has constantly emphasized the importance of maintaining public order, adhering to legal produce and fostering dialogue. Official has urged all parties to use peaceful channel with the legal review is underway. From Karanganyar, the Media Publikasi News team reporting from What's Up today.
The decision to halt construction on Karanganyar's Holy Land project is more than just a timeout. It's the government sending a powerful message. For a project this sensitive, having the right paperwork is only half the battle. Earning the community's trust through a fair and transparent process is just as crucial. So a full review will now dig into three critical questions. First, are the project's permits legally watertight? Second, was the public consultation process truly fair, with neutral official guiding the conversation? And finally, is there any common ground where the developer and residents can find a compromise on issues like site access and noise? The answer will ultimately determine the project's fate. If investigators find serious flaws in the process, the region could revoke the permits entirely. But if everything checks out, construction could get the green light to resume, though likely with a new, stricter set of conditions designed to keep the peace with the community. Karanganyar pause is not a verdict. It is a demand for clarity. We will follow the review and report the outcome. For now, thank you for staying with us to tonight's lineup: public order, personal responsibility, and public process. Three different stories with one common thread: accountability. From permits and procedure in Karanganyar to culture and boundaries on campus, the common thread is accountability. At University Sriwijaya, a short clip from September 20 shows freshmen in Ralaya being instructed to kiss the foreheads of their classmates. The footage has traveled fast and the response has been firm. Tonight, we'll lay out what happened, what action the university has taken, and why organizers say the idea originated with the alumni, before we turn to a leadership dispute at a private university in Labuhan Batu.
The video recorded on Saturday, September 2025 at the Unsuri Indarlaya campus in Oga Hilir show a row of students being told to kiss the forehead of the peer during orientation activity led by seniors. It suffers online on September 23 and tried widespread criticism for the violating campus norms and creating pressures in an environment with a clear power imbalance. By Tuesday evening, the university has announced two measures. First, the student incursion inflowed Himateta within the faculty of the Argilator was suspended for 1 year. Second, an investigation team was formed under the university task force for the prior mentions and the handling of the harms to identify the organized and the essence in the violence. The university emphasized the campus must be safe space and that hazing harms or decorating act will not be tolerant. Organizations for Himateta has apologized stating the case idea was suspension. This suggests by alumni presence at the event, a claim now being examined by the formal probe. News outlets also reports that separate international teams and review the oversights and the approve process that allow the activity to take place, and whether standard of the consent of the properly explains and export. Although there has not reported any criminal investigations at this stage. The case remains an internal disciplinary matter unless individual choose to file the official police report. For Palembang, the media publikasi news team reporting for What's Up Today.
Many of us have seen that viral clip from University Sriwijaya, where new students were told to kiss classmates' foreheads during orientation. The university response was swift. The student group involved was suspended, and a formal investigation is now underway. But to understand why this is being taken so seriously, we need to look beyond the video itself. University orientation can be high-pressure environments. New students often feel they have to comply with instruction from seniors just to fit in, creating a high risk for coercion. That's why university policies have evolved. The focus is no longer just on whether anyone complained at the time, but on ensuring consent, dignity, and addressing the clear power imbalance. A key part of this investigation will be the organizer claim that the idea came from alumni at the event. If that's verified, it could expand responsibility beyond current students and might lead to new rules for alumni involvement in future orientations. And for students, this incident sends a clear message. Times have changed. The university is telling you to report any kind of pressure. While a video is powerful evidence, it's the formal complaint that triggered due process and the protection protocols designed to keep you safe. On Sri action shows a line has been drawn. Tradition is not a shield for coercion. The outcome of this investigation will set the tone for future campus events. After the break, we stay on the topic of education. This time, a leadership tug of war at Unifa Labuhan Batu and the naming of an interim rector. From student rules to rector seats, the focus is still responsibility. In Rantau Parapat Labuhan Batu, the National Board of Al-Jamiatul Wasliyah has named an acting rector for Unifa amid weeks of back and forth decrees and public statements. We will outline the sequence of events, identify who signed what, and explain what the higher education regulator has said. Before we pivot to public safety concern on the road to Kuala Namu Airport.
On September 23, 2025, the National Board of Al-Jamiatul Wasliyah announced Dr. Dedi Iskandar Batubara as acting rector of Unifa Labuhan Batu, citing its organizational authority to stable the university leadership. The appointment follows earlier development in mid-September, when the board decrees repulsed the then rector, driving objections and the counter-claims for the campus declares. News coverage shows that at least two accompanying decrees were issued within the days, indicating internal contentions of the successions of an authority. Regional outlets has directed the chronology, an initial move to remove the sitting rector, exceptions of men, and finally the last decisions of the Dr. Dedi as acting rector. Reporting also notes that the Regional Higher Education Serve LLDIKTI Wilayah 1 has been asked to clarify the process recognitions of any leadership change. The agency has knowledge received of the request and underscored the importance of the clemency with the unstable government producing. For the student and staff, the immediate concern are operational, but the academic serve will continue unapproved if financial approach and the thesis defense can process, and which leader signature will legally recognize. The standard advice in such situation is to hit the most recent formally recording decrees pending verifications from regulations. Absence of court order, government norms, and the regulations of false acknowledgments will determine the voted authority. From Rantau Parapat, the media publikasi news team reporting for the What's Up Today.
Leadership disputes are stressful, but procedure exists to ensure an orderly resolution. We will provide an update once the regulator formalizes its recognition. Next, we turn to roads and patrols. There are calls to secure routes to Kuala Namu after a recent robbery attack on a civil servant heading to work. Viewers, after this break, we will be back with more exciting news. Stay tuned. Thank you viewers for staying with us on What's Up Today. For those of you who have just joined, you can also follow the full program on Film Medan's YouTube channel. Power struggles in campus office can wait. Safety on dark roads cannot. In Deli Serdang, the road network leading to Kuala Namu was the scene of a violent robbery that injured an immigration employee on September 10th. Provincial leaders are now demanding more frequent patrols and immediate repairs to street lighting. Here is what happened, what lawmakers are demanding, and what residents fear is developing beneath the flyover.
Police report and regional media confirmed that on Wednesday, September 10, 2025, a 49-year-old contract employee with immigrations at Kuala Namu was abused near Jalan Karantina Ikan in Batang Kuis. He was struck with a blade weapon and his NMAX motorcycle and phone were stolen. Police state that the victim's wife filed the report at the same day and that the case is under investigation. The incident was full of long-running anxiety about safety on airport access road. In response from September 21 to 23, Principal Lawmaker Publicity called for investigation posters along Kenya routes, citing the recent Australian and early incidents. They pursued police for a more flexible presence and urged the government to immediately repair lighting and improve sightlines. Local media also employed residents' concerns that the damage to the wall beneath the Kuala Namu flyover could create cover for crime and drug use if left unattended. Law Enforcement has highlighted its ongoing portal around the airport portents while acknowledging the investigation continues. For drivers, official advice using better lit main road while possible, avoiding isolation shortcuts during off-peak hours, and traveling in a group when commuting at night. Longer-term solutions such as lightning resections, CCTV, and brush clearing are being considered by local authority following the public calls for action. From Deli Serdang, the Media Publikasi News team reporting for What's Up Today.
We've been covering the growing safety concern on the roads to Kuala Namu Airport, a story that has been building over the past 2 weeks and is now leading to action. It all started with the violent robbery of an airport employee back on September 10th. That incident sparked a swift response from provincial lawmakers, who are now demanding more police patrols and better lighting. Adding to the urgency, residents are reporting new vandalism under the main flyover, worried that it's creating blind spots for criminal activity. So with police stepping up their presence, here's what this means for anyone traveling to or from the airport. The key is to be mindful of your route, especially late at night or in the early morning. If you are on a motorbike, it's wise to stick on the main, well-lit road and share your live location with family or friends. Authorities are also asking for the public's help. If you see faulty street lightings or damaged barriers, report them to the local hotlines. And finally, you should expect to see more police checkpoints. They might add a few minutes to your journey, but they are a visible step towards deterring crime and making the road safer for everyone. Road safety is a shared responsibility. Police patrols help, but adequate lighting, proper maintenance, and safe travel habits are all needed to close the loop. Up next, on a lighter note but still a matter of a local pride, the PSMS Medan team bus has been spotted with a refreshed look and a familiar rallying cry. We'll show you what's confirmed and what's still just a few true French lenses. From road safety to road presence, same highways, different mood. After the debate over KNIA patrols, Medan's football talk has shifted to a bus. The PSMS team coach now seen in a fresh wrap carrying the words Ribak Sude. Supporters have posted photos, but the club so far is focused on its matches. We will walk through what is actually visible, what the famous press means, and where the team stands as the new season gets underway.
For supporters' account this week, image of the PSMS Medan team bus show a reference green rifle flirting the press Ribak Sude, a two-word Batak encroached closely associated with the club fighting spirit. The club has not made a formal announcement about the bus, and at least one community page note the design has surfaced in informality rather than throughout an official launch. What is public and verifiable are the visual, the new wrap, the green bass, and the slogan captured in a fan post. Ribak Sude is more than just paint. In PSMS culture, it functions as a powerful rallying cry, roughly translation to tear through them all, or give it in everything, a change used by supporting players and the official alike. Coverage of PSMS fandom explained it as a non-realitable post for latent play, rooted in the club's reputation for hard, aggressive football. Recent posts on the fan accounts and channel close to the team, as well as by the PSMS personnel, have used to the tag build excitement for the 2025-26 campaign. On the field, PSMS opened the Pigeons Championship sessions on September 12 at the North Sumatra main stadium. Before kick-off, head coach Has Hardy told Liga media that the squad was ready physically and tactically, while the captain Zikri Firdayansyah asked for the supporters' praise and promised a fight in the home opener. The statement underscores the team's current priority: performance first, presentation later. From Medan, the Media Publikasi News team reporting from What's Up Today.
If you are a PSMS Medan fan, you've probably seen the pictures making the rounds online this past week. It looks like the team bus has a brand new grand wrap, featuring that famous rallying cry, Ribak Sude. For those who might not know, Ribak Sude is a powerful phrase from the Batak language, and it's part of the club's DNA. It's a call for an all-out, relentless effort, a way for fans to energize the team, not to incite anything negative. Now, the club itself hasn't made a formal announcement yet. Their priority right now is clearly on the pitch, which is why official details about the new design aren't yet public. And really, that's the main story. While the new bus is exciting, the team is focused on the 2025-2026 season, which is already underway. The league schedule is confirmed, and both the head coach and team captain have gone on record saying they are ready to fight for wins at their home ground, the North Sumatra main stadium. So, for now, it's best to see these photos as a sneak peek from the fans. As the season progresses, we can expect official announcements on branding and merchandise. But for the team, the focus isn't on the bus, but on the league table. So, the bus might already be wearing the team's mantra as the players get back to work under the stadium lights. If management makes the new design official, we will show it. For now, it's best to keep the fan post in perspective and the focus on the league table. More local updates after this. Stay with us. That wraps up today's edition of What's Up Today. On behalf of our news team, I'm Cindy Claudia Nadiak signing off. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share our program so more people can stay informed. See you in the next broadcast right here on channel Media Publikasi.